Okay, so the first thing you want to do is inside After Effects, just play your little sequence through and then go to composition and then just make sure your settings are basically, your animation just fits inside the frame width and height. I've made it 12 frames a second because otherwise there'll be a lot of frames, and I've made it 4 seconds long. Once you're happy with the settings, click OK and then go up to File, Add to Render Queue, and then make sure you set your file render to animation and RGB plus alpha. Now you need the alpha, otherwise it will flatten the image. So have it set to alpha and then it'll make it so basically it's a transparent video. So once you're happy with that, set where you want to render the file. So there you go. And once you're happy with all of that, you click on the render button. Okay, now you want to make that MOV file into a sequence file. So go to File, Open, and open up your MOV file, or your QuickTime. And there you go, you see it's brought it into it. Let's go through the timeline, and you can see that it's actually made a transparent background, and that's great. That's kind of what you want. But you will notice that the layers, it's only got one layer because that's a video. So go to File, then you want to go to File, Save as Web Legacy. Then make sure GIFs is selected because you want to make an animated GIF basically from this. So you go to Save, and then put in where you want to save it to. Okay, now it's made a GIF file. So go to File, Open, find your GIF file, which is an animated GIF. Let it open. And then you'll see now on the right hand side, it's made a layer, like an image file for each individual frame of that animated sequence, which is great. That's kind of exactly what you want. I don't know whether you need to turn the little eye icon on. I always just turn it on just to make sure it's going to save out, with every layer selected. So there's quite a lot of layers. So just select all of those. Then you want to select them all and then put them all into a new group. And then go to File, Save As, PSD, make sure it's layers is selected and then give it a name and then click save. Okay, now you want to bring your PSD file inside Cartoon Animator. So click on Create Media, click on Prop, and then find your PSD file and then open. And there you go, it's brought your PSD file inside Cartoon Animator, but it's only showing you one frame, which isn't good because we've obviously got an animated sequence. So what you've got to do for that is you want to go to your sprite editor, and then you can see it's brought all your files in, which is great. That's at least they're in there. It's all brilliant. So now go to your timeline, and every 2 frames, I'm doing it every 2 frames because I did 12 frames a second, otherwise the sequence would be very quick. So every 2 frames, I'm selecting a different sprite. So basically animate that sprite manually inside, the timeline. So I've fast forwarded the video a bit because it's very boring watching me do this, but you can get a good idea of what I'm doing. So every 2 frames, I'm putting a new sprite in there. So it's basically rebuilding the animated sequence, which is great. Okay, I'm nearly done. Okay, so now I'm setting the project up to be 97 frames for the sequence because that's how long this sequence is. So then click on the loop button and then play it, and then you can see that it's now playing the sequence through, and that's great. That's what you want. So that's now animating how we want to see it. I'm just going to go into the settings and just make it 96 frames just to see if that helps with the loop at the end. It doesn't matter if it doesn't loop brilliantly because it's a bit flame, but hopefully that might help out. And there you go, that's our sequence, our animated prop. So that's good. So now you want to click on prop, but make sure you're on custom and then click the plus button. There you go, so then it comes up in custom. And then give it a name, I'm going to call it fire. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just make a new project. And then drag and drop the fire onto the stage view. And there you go, there it is. And then click the play button. And there you go, you can see the animated prop is now working. So now inside Cartoon Animator, let's make a quick composition. I'm just going to bring in an image, which I got from FreePic. I would normally design myself, but I just wanted a quick and easy image to show for the tutorial. So then you drag and drop your prop into the stage view. Let's shrink it down a little bit, just so the proportions are more correct. Okay, and the next thing we want to do is bring in the logs. So let's go to File, Import Image Layer, and then a PNG file because it's transparent, and just shrink that down so it's kind of the right size. I'm just eyeballing this at the moment. I put that in front of the fire, reposition it a little bit. Now give that a little playthrough. That's looking okay. I'm just going to probably move the fire just a little bit. So select that in layers, move that over a little bit more. Okay, that's good. And just set the timeline to the same duration as the flame, so it's 97 frames give or take. And then press the play button and we'll see that looping through. So that's looking okay, that's looking how we want it. Yep. And then once you're happy with that, go to File, go to Render, Render Video. Change all your settings how you want them, I'm just doing it at HD. Go down, click on Export, give it a file name, and then let it render out.